years ago, right? Someone wants people do whatever they could to get a record deal, right? But look how things change now. Now, an art, someone coming up now don't necessarily have to, try to approach a record label. They could get their social media going, get their followers, and now the major label trying to come to them now. Just look, talk about that part of it now.
Tail wagging the dog.
I'm like, wow, look what gone back in the day. So sometimes I wonder what's going to become of the record labels.
Yeah, well, that's I mean, what's going to become of music? I've heard stories of people using AI to create songs.
Right.
Here's a bunch of lyrics about, I had a heartbreak.
Right.
I lost my girlfriend.
Right.
She broke my heart.
Right.
I wrote it a bunch of words and make a song for me, and it'll pump out a song. I've heard stories of people taking these songs putting them on streaming services and getting paid.
Wow. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. It's funny.
I mean, at what point?
Yeah.
At what point is the musician going to be out of work?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's actually, I never thought about that part. If the musician's going to be him.
If I could just go, make me a country song, make me a hip hop song, make me a disco song.
Well, I think the technology is going to get even better because I've been messing with AI for a minute, and I even make custom GPTs too. But I remember Ross, my co-host, had sent me a song of months ago, I believe, and said, "Pete, listen to this." And I listened to them, so he said, "I use this AI setup to create it." I'm like, I was impressed. I think I played it for you too.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And then I said, and then I went home, and then I actually went on the app, and I think I paid a subscription $10 a month to access it because I didn't want just the free version. I don't mind paying for things if I find value. I don't have any problem with that.
Sure.
And sure enough, I did create some reggae stuff. I think even for the intro that I'm singing, that's that. I put in some of the lyrics, and it put the rest in. I just put in the hook that I thought getting money all day, something like that. We outside, something like that. And it took care of the rest, and I was impressed. And I did say, I think I told it the type of beat I want, and it came with I did say on sections too. And it's mind blowing. So you're right about that. It's
scary from a musician's point of view. Now, that's not the way I make all my bread and butter now.
Right.
My work is my work.
Yeah.
I still play music here and there, but if it were the way I made, I mean, there's always going to be live performance. There's always going to be, the Broadway show.
That's not going anywhere.
Right. That kind of performance is always going to exist. Like those kind of things.
Yeah.
But I don't know, when my teacher, this is 20, 30 years ago when I was a little guy learning drums, my teacher would tell me about, remember when the Casio keyboard? You could put samba on, and all of a sudden it,
right.
My teacher, he hated that. He's like, that's going to put drummers out of work.
And it didn't.
And now, it didn't. But if you fast forward that mindset to now, there are, any of us, yourself included, if you're able to know the right prompts to tell it, give me X, Y, and Z. I need a chord progression of 1/6.
Yes.
It'll spit out exactly what you needed to in a fraction of the time, because you could do it. You're a musician, You could do it. You sit down with just in a fraction of that time. Though, you're able to produce something that's quality.
Like I said, I'm not fighting the AI at all because, like I said, as I've told you a lot of times, because you and I have a lot of conversation, and as soon as an idea comes, I always share it with you as a fellow musician. I use AI to do a lot of things. Even the setup here, a lot of times I'm having some technical issues, and because I don't have a paid assistant, so I have to go to my, and even some of the custom GPT I build, I ask specific questions, and I specifically ask it to provide the answers in layman's terms because I want to understand. And it does, and a lot of stuff. Even the basic setup, even to format, even the thing it is, the recorder here. I'm like, how do I format SD card, stuff like that? And it helps. So I'm thrilled that AI is here. It's making my job so much easier.
Sure.
And I don't want to make things complicated. I like things easy going.
But see, that's the right way to approach it, I think. I don't know. I think the right way, because that goes across all fields. Think about all the automated things that are now going to be coming into play in the next decade or whatever.
Right.
You know, you can't like. I know a bunch of teachers.
Right.
Kids in school nowadays.
Right.
Nobody writes a book report anymore.
Tell me about that.
You remember sitting in the library and, you know, looking at the encyclopedia and copying stuff and doing whatever. Kids don't do that no more. They say, I need, give me a paper on this. And so then when the teachers grade it, they now have tools to run it through an AI and say, was this written by an AI?
Yeah.
So at what point does it, get, and then I've heard stories of teachers that use AI to grade the papers.
That's right. Well, like I said, I hope AI is not going anywhere.
When it's used correctly, I think, like you're saying, like when you use it as a tool, like we can't fight it. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Like it's here, and it's how somebody approaches it and uses it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this analogy. So I'd like to use this analogy when I'm comparing the AI to everything else. You remember Blockbuster years ago when they didn't want to move at the time? I know they and out of business. So these people that complaining about AI, if they don't move it, then they'll be stagnant. They're not going anywhere. So I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Like I heard when television was invented.
Same, right. With every technology, with every new technology, and also too, like there's that element of like the older generation is gonna look and say like, this is poisoning.
Yes.
This is wrecking society. But these kids, like my kid, like she grows up with this.
Right.
She learns how to use it appropriately, properly.
Right.
Like while also studying and doing the work. The I don't know. The fear for me is that the work stops happening because you don't need to do it.
Right.
Like so, a kid that not doing their book report.
Right.
You don't learn nothing. You're supposed to learn about
right.
George Washington or whatever it was, or you know what I mean.
Right.
Whatever the subject matter was. If you just pressed the button and moved on, how long before the guy operating on you is schooled like that, or the guy flying your plane is schooled like that?
It's a fun you talk about that, because obviously we're going to be on this AI a little longer because I guess that's a subject that I'm kind of passionate about too. But well, as far as young kids though, especially with like kids grow, I think it's parents' responsibility to kind of help because I know sometimes a parent may be busy and they may just put like an iPad in front of the kids though, that is kind of
nonsense.
Because one of my daughters was telling me about there's certain cartoon stuff. I forgot which one, and I don't even if I remember the name, I probably wouldn't call it. That it's like the kids get addicted because the colors they use are so bright, something like that, and you got to be careful.
Yep.
That you got to be careful of. The next thing your kid is like, what kind of kid is I'm raising?
Well, you hit the nail on the head, man. Parenting is everything, and I don't know. I mean, everybody does their own thing, but I don't want to be judgmental, but I don't know. My parents were they were big on tough love as well as they were big on the regular love. But the tough love sometimes is more important than the you know what I mean? You need somebody to tell you to knock it off.
Without a doubt.
And you need somebody to be able to open your business too.
Right.
You let your kid, like you said, you just give them the iPad like a pacifier.
Yeah.
They're gonna explore the wild, wild west by themselves.
And when they come on, this kid like, that's all they consume the whole day. You know what I mean?
Sir. And you wonder why they're crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. The world we live in today, man. I tell you, man. But thank goodness for music, though, because it brings us right back to music.
Yeah.
One thing with music, though, I've noticed with music, music is just a powerful tool. You have music, and if you want to get yourself, for example, for me now, if I want to get myself in a certain mood, remember when it just came in, I played that tune from Popcorn and Protege because that song. There's a couple songs that when I want to feel a certain optimistic, I play a certain song. If you want to feel sorry for yourself, you find, I'm sure there's a song for that will make you feel sorry for yourself. But I'm not into that. No, I want to feel motivated. So my guest is coming over. So so you want to get it. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But music is such a powerful tool, though. Sometimes you watch a film and you're watching a film and you find yourself crying. I'm like, the sounds that cause it. That's such an amazing thing, man. So when you find someone that says they don't like music, I'm like, you don't like music.
It's like saying you don't like air.
How could someone say that? You know what I mean?
Music is the I don't know. To me, it's the universal language. I don't have to speak the same language as you. We don't have to, agree on stuff. We just sit down and we can speak